Landlord sues GCOM, funding cut for Afro-Guyanese group, and 14 companies to bid to market Guyana's oil. Hi, I'm Rico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. If you think your rent is bad, GCOM seems to feel the same way about theirs too. Anand Sanasi, the owner of the buildings that house GCOM's headquarters in Kingston, Georgetown, has taken the commission to court over some $9.2 million owed in rent due to increased rates. In February 2022, GCOM CEO Vishnu Prasad agreed to the new rates on the behalf of GCOM. However, the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board and the nation's cabinet did not. Sanasi asked the High Court to order the Elections Commission to pay him the $9.2 million in unpaid rent and ordered them to continue paying at the new rate and not the previous one, which they are still paying at, hence them owing rent. Guyana has decided to forge ahead with its decision to write CARICOM on the delayed delivery of Surinamese fishing licenses for Guyanese fishermen. This follows the release of an email sent by Surinamese Minister of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Parmanan Sweden, to Guyana's Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, which specifically spoke of an agreement for the provision of Surinamese fishing licenses to Guyanese fisherfolk being done promptly. According to Mustafa, the email vindicates what this government has been saying all along. In other agriculture news, yesterday Minister Mustafa commissioned a new coconut seedling nursery at Hosororo Village, Barima Waiani, Region 1. The nursery, which is located in the Nari compound, was constructed and stocked at a cost of $4.3 million Ghana dollars. At full capacity, the nursery will be able to produce some 206,000 seedlings annually. In addition to the nursery, Minister Mustafa also commissioned several new pieces of equipment for Nari's spice processing facility. These pieces of equipment, which include a ginger washer, ginger slicer, ginger grinder, and vibro sifter, were produced at a cost of $9.7 million Ghana dollars. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said a national laboratory strategy is being developed to ensure local labs can process samples properly and produce accurate results. The ministry, with the help of the Pan American Health Organization, is also developing an essential package of services at the different levels, including a comprehensive laboratory service. It was determined that at least 216 different types of diseases must now be detected at the health center level. Therefore, Dr. Anthony stressed laboratory support is important. The Coordinating Council of the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly Guyana, the IDPADAG, is currently seeking legal advice on the government's decision to withhold its monthly subvention of $8 million Ghana dollars. The move has crippled the operation of IDPADAG and has left them $10.5 million in debt. The IDPADAG's Coordinating Council is convinced that the government's decision to withhold the subventions for the months of September and October is as a result of the organization's decision to publish an ad by the Coffee 250 Committee promoting its annual forum under the theme Resisting the Emerging Apartheid State in Guyana. Since having their funding cut, the organization has let go of a majority of its staff and reduced funding for several programs it supports, including the Sophia Night School. It's like that school just can't catch a break. Anyway, the IDPADAG is currently awaiting legal advice on the way forward. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mount rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamp, spot camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down, with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Riga sent you for this sweet deal. 48-year-old contractor Michelle Rambaran was yesterday charged with forging an irrevocable power of attorney in order to sell a property which she had no legal right to sell. She denied the charge. Rambaran was then placed on $200,000 bail and will return to court next month. The driver of the bus, which crashed into a parked truck along the quarantine highway earlier this week, killing him and his passenger, Yusuf Ali, has since been identified as 19-year-old Vishnu Parsaram. According to Starbrook News, his mother identified his body. 4 men have been charged and remanded to prison following the recent seizure of 65.2 pounds of cannabis in Joanna South Blackbush Polder Quarantine Police last Monday. They are 36-year-old Chameshwar Kemraj, 35-year-old Anand Jagat, 22-year-old Shakir Batson, and 46-year-old Tejlal Tejpal. Batson pleaded guilty to the charge and was sentenced to 1 year suspended sentence. Meanwhile, Jagat and Kemraj both pleaded not guilty, whilst Tejpal pleaded guilty. They were subsequently remanded to prison until Wednesday, October 19, 2022. A total of 266 pupils from grades 1 and 2 at CV Nunes Primary School in Region 2 on the Escobar Coast had to be sent home this morning after their classrooms were flooded. The head teacher said that it is a situation that has been affecting the school for over 20 years, as poor drainage on the school grounds means that any excess water backs up into the bottom flat classrooms. It's terrible. I mean, when it rains, it floods. I mean, honestly, if you pee a little too hard and miss the toilet, it floods over there. Seriously, those people need help. A homeless man identified as Rudra was discovered dead in a bus shed at Adventure Essequibo Coast this morning. The police found no marks of violence on the body, which was taken to the city funeral home. A post-mortem examination is expected to be done soon. Now for today's oil update. 14 companies are competing for the contract to market Guyana's share of the crude oil produced from the Liza Phase 1 and 2 projects. They are Equinor ASA of Norway, Petroco Oil Company Limited of Brazil, PB Oil International Limited of United Kingdom, Total Energies of France, PetroChina International American Incorporated from the United States. Yes, they're actually an American company. Who knew? The only company from Guyana, She Oil. Gunman wants she oil, she likes that. Anyway, ADNOC Trading Limited of the United Arab Emirates, Heritage Petroleum Limited over in Trinidad and Tobago, Sinuk Trading Sinco Limited in China, Vitol SA of Switzerland, BB Energy Trading Limited of the United Kingdom, Gunvor SA of Switzerland, Trade Oil Sarl of West Africa, and finally, Tullet Pre-Bon Americas Corporation over in the United States. The successful company will be taking over from Aramco Trading. The new contract, which will begin in the 4th quarter of this year, is expected to last 1 year. Attention truck owners, if you're not shopping at Powered Automotive, you're wasting your money. Powered Automotive has all the parts for all models of DAF, Freightliner, International, and more. No need to knock your belly here. They have all the parts you need at the prices you can afford. Visit them at Locked 491E Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it plays to us. Last night I asked, how do you feel about the government asking for the illegal Venezuelan maps to be taken down? Everett Lawrence says, let's put up a map claiming their territory. Oh, so and see the reaction. Do so and a like so. Indeed, you know they'll really get them angry over that. Tarifa Wolford says yes. It can hurt more than just feelings. It's very misleading. Imagine if that's what they start teaching the kids over there in school. SMH, it just keeps going on and on. Unfortunately, you're absolutely correct. That is what they teach them over there. And you know what? It's that mess which is why this claim continues even to this day. And finally, Dimitri V says, I think the Guyanese government is well within their rights to request that the information be put down, because it's misinformation for one, which can be dangerous in the wrong hands. You're arming Venezuelans with the notion that Guyana's borders are actually theirs. This could lead to unforeseen consequences like violence and potential war between the two countries. You know, you're absolutely right. Just the other day, they had their military planes flying over our territory. And they even have the Sindicato running back and forth throughout our hinterland, wreaking havoc to Guyanese citizens. It's a shame. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the government withholding funding from the IDPADAG? Do you think it's warranted, or is it just petty politics, or is it something else altogether, or even something in between? I really want to hear from you all. So, Think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.